Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's weekly live immigration attorney chat here at Immigration for Couples. I'm attorney Megan Pastrana, and if you are new to our firm is dedicated exclusively to helping couples across the nation and across the world in navigating the U.S. immigration process. And we know for all of you who are going through an immigration process, whether you're just starting out or in the middle of your journey, it is so important to have support and clarity and guidance throughout that process. And so that's why we host these weekly live chats. And I also want to let all of you know about our free resource center at immigrationforcouples.com. So we have a free, a very robust resource center that I've created with so much care and consideration and love for all of you who are going through an immigration process. And so our resource center has a webinar. I really encourage you to check out the webinar that was created for anyone who's just starting out in the immigration process. I go over in detail the 4 different options that are available to couples, how to prove your relationship, and really what you should know when you're embarking on your immigration journey. And I see we have a lot of individuals joining us here live, which is awesome. So for our regulars, you know the drill. I like to ask you to put in the chat, where are you at in the world? What state in the U.S. or what country are you located presently? So go ahead and throw that in the chat. I am Instagram has been giving me a fuss. So let me see if I got it to work. I am going, yes. It looks like we're good on Instagram now. So I'm streaming this live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So wherever you're wherever you're watching on one of those platforms. Oh, well, thank you, Destiny. It's actually a dress. But I thought it was a fun summer color, right? And bring some life and color. But thank you very much. All right. So let's see. Everybody keep throwing in the chat. Where are you at in the world? Okay, here we go. Tucson, welcome. New York, welcome. Gulf Coast, Florida. Yeah, Lisa, you get to be in Florida. That's fantastic. Philippines, Michigan, another Florida in the house. Awesome. All right. Well, welcome to all of you. I really love this time that we spend together every week. I think it's so important if you're going through a process like an immigration process to be in community and to know you're not alone. All right. So let's see. I have my first comment here. And if you have questions, please throw them in the comments. I ask that you just ask your question one time. I know you're excited to get information and have me answer your questions live, but I ask ask your question one time because I am streaming on 4 different platforms all at once, and I will answer the questions in the order that I receive them. I will be here with you all today until 11:35 Eastern time, and I will answer as many questions as I can in that time. All right, so you're from Minneapolis. You're waiting on some good news. You were approved for the K-1. You submitted it in April last year and approved. I'm guessing 3024. Immigration wait times are long, but not that long, hopefully. I know you mean 2024. And you received that approval on the 10th. Awesome. Well, congratulations. Thanks for that update. Okay. And then Destiny, you moved after you've submitted the DS-160. And okay, so if you move in the middle of your immigration process, there is a requirement from immigration that you update your address within 10 days on the USCIS website on your change of address. The DS-160 is through the Department of State, and so you'll have an opportunity at the interview to update that address at the actual interview. But USCIS does require that you keep your address up to date, and you can do that on your online USCIS profile. So you're talking about that I-134 form, which is the very first phases of that affidavit of support process for the fiancé visa. And so as a petitioner for the fiancé visa, you need to be able to qualify on your own as a sponsor for the case based on your income. And if you don't, then you can look at options of having a joint sponsor. The rules about whether or not you can combine income really are going to depend on if you are living together in your relationship, typically though, you would want a joint sponsor that if you don't qualify on your own, that you'd want to have a joint sponsor that makes enough on their own to be a joint sponsor in their own right based on their income. So affidavit of support is one of the more complex aspects of the process. And so without seeing, tax returns and financials and all of the details, I can't give you concise or customized legal advice, if you will, based on the situation. But in general, you'll need to qualify on your own for that affidavit of support as the petitioner. And if you don't, then you would have a joint sponsor that their income standalone would step in and fulfill that joint sponsor requirement. All right. Okay. So you are asking about after receiving the NOA2. So basically the approval notice of the petition, how long does it take to hear from the National Visa Center? And it looked like Destiny it was answering to because you've been through this process. So that was nice of you to share your experience. Typically after you get that approval notice, on the approval notice, it says on there, we will send your case to the National Visa Center within 30 days. And then if they don't, then what we do here at our office on day 30, if we still don't have that, we make an inquiry with the National Visa Center to get that case number. So typically about a month. And if not, then you can reach out to the National Visa Center to kind of move that along. And then from there, it will depend on the particular embassy or consular post as to when your case will be actually transferred to them for the interview. Yep. And so like Destiny's saying, yep, about a month, and you made that inquiry. So that's great. And then they will. Yep. And then they send you the email with the case number. That's right. And then you said, you were just responding to her. Okay, great. We got some congratulations for you. All right. Hi, Jinder. It's great to see you again. You're watching from the UK. Your boyfriend isn't joining live. Oh, you're out house hunting. Congratulations. That's exciting. Best of luck. That's a fun chapter in life. All right. Oh, Phil, great to have you again with us. So you're both in Pensacola and you're heading back to Thailand on the 25th. Aw, that's great that you get to be together. And we're happy to have you here. Oh, from Canada, you're very welcome. It's my pleasure to be here with everyone. Okay. So what if I find a job in the US while the I-130 is pending? Is it problematic? If not, and after getting to the US, can I file for AOS, or is it better to get back in my country for the interview? So this is a very complex question, and I would need a lot more details from you to give you advice. You're welcome to, I'm going to give you a general response, and then I will give you the link if you want to schedule an appointment with me. I'd be happy to speak with you in a consultation, and I can excavate, get those details that I need to give you concise and customized legal advice. But in general, if you are going through the spouse visa process, the I-130 process, you have to wait until you receive a green card before you can accept and start working in the United States. Because in the United States, you have to have lawful or authorization to work. So that's going to be some kind of work permit, or it's going to be a green card. If you don't have either of those, working in the United States you would be out of alignment with the law. You would be committing unauthorized work, and which is not allowed, and it can cause issues for your immigration case. And so you have to wait for that work permit or green card. If you are, looking at options for employment and you have some possibilities for jobs in the future, that's great, but you can't actually work until you have that authorized employment, or a work authorization, rather, a green card. And then filing for adjustment of status is only available to individuals who are in the United States, who entered the United States with what they call non-immigrant intent. So a person comes to the United States, for example, on a student visa. They came with a non-immigrant intent, which means they came with the intent of staying for a limited period of time to complete something like studies. And then their intention is to leave after that short period of time in the US. So you can't come to the US with immigrant intent and file for adjustment of status. So if someone would come, for example, if someone's in a relationship already, so you're already married or you're in love and you want to be together and live together in the US, you can't come on something like a tourist visa with the intention to stay here, live, and file for adjustment of status. The rules of adjustment of status are very strict, and you can't come with that intention to file for adjustment of status. And I know this is a very complicated topic. I did make a video on this in even more detail about something called the 90-day rule, and the way that immigration will look at your entry to the United States. And if you entered the United States on a tourist visa, and if you were to get married and then stay and file for adjustment of status in 90 days, immigration sees that as a red flag that your intention was contrary to the law, that you were coming with that intention. So that's a long answer to say adjustment of status is something that has very strict requirements to be eligible to file for adjustment of status. And without knowing more about your situation and your case and your background, I can't say conclusively that that would be an option for you. Typically, with the I-130 spouse visa process, that has to happen at a U.S. embassy or consulate abroad. I will go ahead and throw our office phone number here, 317-247-5040. You can call, and Lisa and Taylor can get you on my calendar if you want to talk privately about your situation and options. All right. And you can also book 24/7 on our website. But thanks for the question. Okay. Oh, and then you threw something in here. I wish I would have saw that before I went on my long tangent. So you've been documentarily qualified by the National Visa Center. Yeah, so you're going through a spouse visa process. And that means you should be close to your immigration, having an immigration interview. It'll depend on country of origin. In terms of adjustment of status, though, my response is still the same. And we can definitely talk in a consultation. But usually once your case has been documentarily qualified, then you'll receive an interview anywhere from 3 to 6 months later. Some countries, the wait is much longer, more than a year. But if you happen to be currently in the US, there could be other options for you. But again, I'd have to speak with you in a consultation. But great news. Congratulations on being documentarily qualified, though. That's awesome. All right. Okay. Yeah, and then you were asking about studying too. So typically with if you are documentarily qualified and you're getting close to having that interview and green card, you would want to wait to have that green card in your hand to actually begin studying in the U.S. Because you, just like with work, you need authorization to study, to be enrolled in university, or have like something like a student visa. But if you're getting close to having your green card, then you'd be able to enroll in a program for studying after getting that green card. But hopefully you get that soon. All right. Okay, so Nikki, you have a question. Same-sex couple based in Uganda. You applied for a fiance visa in April of 2024. So you're wanting to ask for an expedite. And does this ever delay a case? Does one approval apply? Okay. So yes, you are always welcome to try what's called an expedite. That is for all of you who maybe have not heard of that. Expedites are a way that you can ask to have your case adjudicated or decided on a faster basis because of emergency reasons. So serious health concerns is a common one. There's a lot of different reasons that an individual could try to expedite their case. Expedites, it's very important to understand, are discretionary. Oftentimes, unfortunately, immigration, half the battle is getting them to look at it. Oftentimes, they are so inundated with cases that they won't even look at the expedite requests. That's not to say we try them. We do them here for our clients. We've been successful with expedite requests, but we are always honest with our clients that it's a Hail Mary pass, or another way to say it, it's very difficult to get them approved. But yes, you can definitely try, just understanding that discretionary piece of that. And so the expedite will not apply for the National Visa Center or the embassy. Each part of the process involves a different Department of Immigration or a different immigration office, and each one has their own policies and procedures, and an expedite would be required for every single phase in the case. There are some consular posts that will not even entertain an expedite, even in life and death situations. They're very rigid, and they will say, no, we won't even look at expedites. So yes, you can try the expedite, and you would need one for each phase in the case. All right. But best of luck to you. I really hope, I really hope you're able to be successful in that expedite. And if you're wanting help with filing an expedite, you please call our office. I can throw that in there again. And we'd be happy to help you and talk about the viability of the expedite. We've done many of them and been successful for our clients in getting a decision faster. So it's at 317-247-5040. All right. So let's see who's next in line. Got some others that are coming in. So if you're just joining us now, throw in the comments, where are you at in the world? All right. And if you give me thumbs up or a heart or something, just so I know that you're all engaged and with me, since I can't see your faces, that helps me to know if this information is helpful for all of you. Okay. So how soon can you file an adjustment of status after getting married on the fiancé visa? So really, you need to file within 90 days. So when you come on that fiancé visa, you have 90 days to get married. And what we do for our clients is we begin proactively preparing that adjustment of status so it can be filed within the 90-day period. Can you still file after the 90-day period? Of course, but ideally you want to get it filed before your I-94 expires. And also, you want to get it filed because you're in this status of limbo, right? You're here lawfully on that fiancé visa, but you're very limited in what you're able to do. So you want to get that filed right away so you can be in line for the work permit and green card and all that good stuff. All right. So I see I got some thumbs up. Everybody is still with me. That's great. All right. So you're from Jamaica and your wife filed an I-130 in August of 2023. How long do you think to get approved to send to the National Visa Center and the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica? So I-130 petitions for the very first step for spouses of U.S. citizens are taking about 12 months, give or take, for that very first step, that petition. And then from there, you'll enter into the National Visa Center process. That's for our clients, that's typically taking a few weeks on average. Sometimes it can take a little longer if you're needing to collect more financial documents. And then from there, the interview will be scheduled. With our clients from Jamaica, we're seeing about a 6-month wait for that interview, give or take. So, if you're in August of 2023, hopefully you'll be receiving some kind of decision on that petition sometime this fall. You'll complete the National Visa Center phase, and then from there have about another 6-month wait. That's what we're seeing for our clients from Jamaica. All right. You're welcome. Yeah, I know it's just a complicated part of the process. So you're very welcome though. Okay. Yep. And a U.S. citizen. So yeah, those wait times that I just gave are accurate. I forgot to bring my water. So hopefully I don't start coughing here. I've had a lot of appointments this morning, and so I've been talking a lot. All right. We have someone who's asking a question. Hi there. You filed for adjustment of status. You got your work permit and travel on that pending 485. And how long does it take for the I-94 to get updated? Need this for getting the driver's license. Okay. So your I-94 won't be updated as a result of that, if the work permit and advance parole being issued. Your I-94 is a document that shows when you last entered the United States and the period of time that you're authorized to stay. So I'm guessing you either came on a student visa or a tourist visa or maybe a fiancé visa. So from there, though, to get a driver's license, and every state has their own laws and requirements to obtain a driver's license. But in general, if you have your work permit, you should be able to go and get a driver's license. Hopefully when you filed, you requested a social security number. And if you didn't, you'd have to go to the social security office to get one. But typically most states, the driver's branch will issue a driver's license with that work permit and social security card. All right. But congratulations on getting those approved and getting your application filed. Good morning, Eds. Great to have you with us. Okay. So, you're watching from Texas. Awesome. And is it possible to transfer the case from one country to another due to backlog? Also, is having a surgery a good reason to expedite the case? It's a spouse visa to be specific. So, transferring your case from one consular post to another is possible, and we do that all the time for our clients. However, it will really depend on the country to which you want to transfer. I'll say, for example, Dubai, or the United Arab Emirates, the consular post in Abu Dhabi. They're very strict on who they will allow to have an interview. You have to have a certain status in that country, and I work permit isn't enough. So even if you're there lawfully, they won't accept a transfer. So that's just an example to show how each consular post is different. And then other countries will only accept a transfer if you're a citizen of that country. So we have clients who might be a citizen of several different countries just because of birth or a lot of different reasons. Maybe they had two parents from different countries. And so when we meet with individuals who have options for multiple consular posts, we will decide and we will advise them, hey, this is the fastest option. Let's ask to have your case here. So in general, you can't just reach out to a consular post and ask to transfer the case because you want to be in a shorter line. Typically, you will have to have meet requirements of that consular post. So being a citizen, for example, or having a certain status in that country, or maybe the individual is already living in that country. And then for an expedite, yes, we have been successful in getting expedites approved for individuals when the petitioner is undergoing some type of surgery. Expedites, as I mentioned earlier, if you were with us, are difficult to get approved, and the surgery alone will not be enough. You would want to make sure you have other evidence, and we prepare and write a legal argument. So knowing the law, obviously, as an immigration attorney, I will look at all of the facts and circumstances of the situation, and I will be able to determine, hey, these facts are going to be most relevant. This is what we need evidence to prove these elements here. And then I prepare an argument, a legal argument about why this case qualifies for an expedite. So yes, surgery is a possible good reason, but I just want to make sure you understand the other layers of that analysis and that process. So if you are in a position where you're needing assistance and you're wanting to try the expedite, wanting to understand viability, I'd be happy to speak with you in a consultation. Again, here, I'll throw that phone number up, 317-247-5040. And I'd be happy to speak with you in a consultation about your situation, the viability of an expedite, what that would look like, the possibility of it being approved or not, and maybe some other things that we can try in your case as well, depending on the specifics of your situation. But we'd be happy to assist. All right. All right. So I have a lot of good questions here today. I have a little bit more time here. Let me get my bearings straight. There's so many questions that come through, and make sure, Brenda. Okay, I'm back at the place. All right. So Pierre, hello, great to have you with us. So you're in Indiana and you'd like to know what to do when you see your cases being reviewed. So one of the online case status, the USCIS online case status has a few different cookie cutter responses that they provide. And one of them is your case is being actively reviewed. So that doesn't necessarily mean that it's on an immigration officer's desk. It could mean they have it in a line to be reviewed. It could be on an officer's desk. They could actually be actively reviewing it. But it's a good sign. It's a good sign. It means it's in the right place and it's in line to be reviewed. Having an immigration attorney for the process is a great idea. And I'm not saying that just because I'm an immigration attorney, but having an immigration attorney not only will give you peace of mind, but having someone who is an expert, who practices immigration law every day and knows exactly what are the legal requirements for this case type. What is immigration looking for? If you have an interview, I prepare my clients for that interview, the questions that I anticipate the officer will ask in their specific case. So if you don't have an immigration attorney, those are some things to consider. And, that's great that your case is being actively reviewed. And if you get any notifications from immigration, requesting additional documents or scheduling an interview, then you definitely really should consider hiring an immigration attorney to assist you. If you're feeling a little nervous or a little concerned about your application, you can actually get started working with an immigration attorney sooner. I have a lot of individuals who have maybe filed on their own or used some kind of agency that isn't really a licensed immigration attorney, and then they start to feel a little nervous, and then they will come with their case and their application, and I can review it and see if there's any issues with that filing, if there was anything that was missed, and we can be proactive and make sure we have everything fixed or prepared in anticipation of responses from immigration. So great question. Okay, so you're asking about the travel visa, and I'm guessing you mean the advanced parole or the travel document that you file with adjustment of status. Typically several years. Typically they will give you several years of validity on that. As of recent, for our adjustment of status clients who are applying for their travel permit and work authorization, we're seeing 4 years. And we always request multiple entries. So that travel authorization is good for multiple entries. Okay. But understanding there can be risks associated with travel. So before you travel, before you leave the US, making sure you speak with an attorney. Okay. So it's great to see you as well, Pooja. It's great having you with us again. Okay. So you're getting married in 2 months, you live in the US, and she's in the Dominican Republic. How do I start the process? And can I hire a lawyer to do this for me? Absolutely. So congratulations on your upcoming marriage. That's super exciting. And now is a perfect time to get started. We start with couples typically a few months before they get married. Sometimes, of course, they come to us and they're already married. But we will start working with you before that marriage because we can get everything prepared. We can work with you to collect evidence. We can get a really solid application prepared. So when you do get married, we can just insert that marriage license and get your application filed straight away. So absolutely. How do you start the process? The first step would be to have a consultation. I would be happy to have a consultation with you and we can talk about your particular case. And before you get married, also making sure that this spouse visa option is the best for you. So this is a great time before you get married to talk about what are the options that are available. Are you on the best path? What is the evidence that you need to collect? Are there going to be any potential complications with your case? So now is a perfect time. Let me go ahead and throw that in the chat or in the banner here for you. Call our office, 317-247-5040. Lisa or Taylor will be happy to get you on my calendar. You can also go to immigrationforcouples.com. You can schedule there. There's a scheduling link. You can schedule 24/7, and then you'll be able to see tons of free resources and information about our firm. And that webinar would also be a great place for you to start too if you're having any questions about what that consultation and process would look like. All right. But congratulations on your upcoming wedding. That's very exciting. Okay. I have some more questions that are coming in here. And then Julie is here with us today. I forgot to give her a shout out. Julie is helping and throwing in links to the free resource center and scheduling and all of that good stuff. So how many photos do you need to have for your interview? So if you mean passport photos, the passport style photos, that will depend on the US Embassy or consulate. Some ask for 1, some ask for 4. It will just depend. And then if you mean in terms of relationship evidence, proving your relationship, it's always quality over quantity. So if you have 20 photos that are all from the same day, those will be less value than 5 photos from different times. So a good rule of thumb is about 10 to 20 photos that cover the period of time since meeting. If you've already submitted any photos to immigration, you'll want to make sure you're submitting new ones when you go to your interview and not the same ones. All right. How long does it take to hear from the US Embassy? It can be anywhere from a few months to well over a year. It will just depend on the consular post. All right. I have a couple. I have like 1 more minute. What country is the easiest or fastest to work with? That's a fun question. I would say it really depends on the case type. I like the consular post, the U.S. consulate in London, France, Italy, Bahrain, uh, Abu Dhabi, Japan, Sydney, Australia. All of them are very New Zealand. I mean, we work with couples all over the world. Those are all great. I'm saying those are the ones that come to top of mind because I have the best rapport with the individuals, the consular officers, and the team that works there. They're very good at responding. Other consulates, there's nothing wrong with them. They just have such a high volume that they're very slow to respond to correspondence, and sometimes they ignore. Many other countries on that list that I enjoy working with, but frankly, I like working with all of them because it's fun to work with individuals and consular posts all over the world. So, but yeah, fun question. All right. Okay, I'm going to grab one more question and then I'm at time. And what's the, oh, I think Julie took care of that question. You're very welcome. And then Eds, I can grab your question really fast. If you applied online and your status is actively being reviewed, is it a good idea to upload additional evidence? Typically, no, because immigration doesn't really have a good process to accept newly submitted documents. Can you? Absolutely. But it's not really required. And what we do and what we recommend to our clients, awesome that you're saving relationship evidence. Keep all of that saved. Wait for immigration to respond. Wait for them to send a request for evidence or wait for them to schedule you for an interview, and then you'll have that evidence ready to go. Okay. So these are all really great, all really great questions. You're very welcome. I do need to jet. I will be here next Tuesday again at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So feel free to join me next week. And I'll be answering your questions live. I can start with these, the questions that I have here in the hopper that I didn't get to today, or you're welcome to join next week and throw that in the comments and I'll answer them then. All right, everyone, if you enjoyed today, please give a thumbs up or a heart. Share this with anyone in your life who might be going through an immigration process. Let them know about our free resource center. We're here to help. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone.